So you've decided to DIY your wedding. I love that for you. Handmade signs, custom jewelry, and family assembled centerpieces. DIY wedding planning is everywhere. But here's a question I rarely hear couples ask. Should we DIY our marriage prep too? Today we're going to talk about when DIY is awesome, but also when it can quietly backfire, especially when it comes to communication, conflict, and the emotional prep for marriage. Hi, I'm Tanya, and I'm a pre-marriage coach, and I love to help couples skip the drama and start with a solid foundation. I have been married to my best friend Rick for over 30 years, and I want you to love being married and passionately live out the vows that you are about to declare. You can find information about DIY weddings everywhere because they can be very personal, budget-friendly, and honestly, a whole lot of fun. You get to be creative, resourceful, and who doesn't love a little glitter glue and a trip to the craft store? The truth? DIY is not the problem. The problem is when couples decide to treat every part, the wedding and the marriage, the same way. You wouldn't build a 4-tier wedding cake without a recipe and at least some kind of experience. So why wing it with your future goals and desires as a couple? Here's an important distinction. Wedding DIY is mostly about tasks. Now, marriage DIY, that's about tools, emotional tools, communication skills, expectations, and the habits that you bring into your everyday life. If you want to make your marriage as intentional as your wedding decor, go ahead and click the link below to learn about working with me with proactive coaching for couples who want to be ready for the real stuff. See if this sounds familiar. An amazing couple who is making the commitment of marriage for life, but they're just going to figure it out as they go. That's like buying the lumber and the nails and then saying, we'll just build our house on the wedding night.
Duct tape and denial won't hold up over time.
Conflict resolution, how you manage money, your expectations around intimacy or family roles. Those aren't things you can just wing with good enough intentions. That's where DIY can silently cost you. So here's a helpful way to decide which parts of marriage prep you can totally DIY and which parts you probably shouldn't. Here's some great DIYs. Creating shared vision boards, writing personal vows, planning how you'll celebrate anniversaries, talking through fun hypotheticals like dream vacations or future pets. Here are some not so great DIYs. The unspoken expectations about parenting or the money stress that you just pretend isn't there. Silent resentment about your partner's family. Assuming that you communicate great because you never fight.
Just because you never fight doesn't mean you communicate well. Someone might just be sweeping things under the rug and then building a couch on top of it.
When you skip structured conversations, you don't just miss the deep insights. You miss each other. You miss the why behind the budget disagreement. You miss the story behind how your partner handles stress. You miss the fear behind the frustration. A great marriage isn't built by avoiding hard conversations. It's built by having them. But have them safely, gently, and with tools that work. That's why I do what I do. It's not to tell couples what to do. It's to help guide them through the things that are hard to do alone. So go all out on your DIY photo booth. Fold those 200 beautiful napkins into swans. But when it comes to building a marriage, don't just trust your instincts and that beautiful quote you found at the craft store.
Hot glue guns fix centerpieces, not emotional wounds.
If you want support having the right conversations before you say I do, I would love to help you. And if you're starting to think of all of the reasons not to have a pre-marriage coach, watch this video. See you soon.